This is generally pointed to as the most iconic image from the Hubble Space Telescope. The original image was actually taken in 1995 with a much older camera. We have much better cameras on board now than we had in the 1990s. So we decided to revisit kind of our golden oldie here.
The issue of scale in this image is incredible. I was reading about it a little bit today, and it was pointed out that it's an image of something that happened 6,500 years ago, right? And the little protuberances on the top of those pillars, any tiny little piece is the equivalent of our solar system. So I'm like fascinated by how photography tries to deal with scale, and this is probably as big as it gets.
There's an interesting PhD thesis back many years ago comparing these Hubble images to landscapes, landscape paintings. That's how we get our bearings, is that we think of this the way we might think of a mountain range or an Ansel Adams photo or something. I thought that was a very interesting analogy. What you're seeing here is stars being born, stars just like our sun, and the fact that stars are really the engine for everything, the cosmic recycling of, that leads to the heavy elements, that leads to planets, that leads to life. That's the really amazing story that you see here. But of course, when you first take a look at it, you just, it's just beautiful, and it's just an invitation to maybe dig a little bit deeper and understand what you're looking at.
When I read the caption, the Pillars of Creation, I went to re-look at Michelangelo's creation of Adam, because something about the way the pillars are shooting up reminded me of the fingers in the Sistine Chapel, and they're touching this way. And so for me, it was a little bit of like a Rorschach test for trying to figure out what this was.
It is like looking at clouds where you can kind of see whatever you want to see, right? And I guess the term is pareidolia or something like that, right? And we did have a kind of a contest where people would draw what they thought they saw. Some people on the right there, it looks like a dog, jumping up on somebody. It is kind of fun to think about that.
I know that this image was made by 3 black and white sensors and combined to create the color. And the black and white is most useful, right, to astronomers in their work. But someone, when they were building Hubble, must have said, no, we've got to make colors to show the public what this beautiful instrument can do. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We do have many different filters that isolate different chemical elements, which have, do emit at different wavelengths, different colors. So we can construct a color image. And, sometimes people accuse us of just painting these images, and that's absolutely not true. It's that we'll image it multiple times using different filters. In addition to the different filters in the optical, we even image this in the infrared. So if you look at our website, you can see that. And of course, it looks different in each image. And yes, we do then apply the color that we know. For example, maybe a filter that isolates hydrogen, and we know hydrogen glows red, so that might get the red channel. We're not just making pretty pictures with Hubble. That's not our goal. This is scientific data that we carefully calibrate and carefully prepare so that we can make scientific measurements from it. It just so happens that nature is beautiful.